How long have we been saying that Pakistan is good at playing a double game, trying to keep two masters happy at the same time, United States as well as China? So, what is the latest one? Well, is Asim Munir eating the salt of United States or namak, and is turning namak haram or betrayer to the United States? Why? We're going to talk about this in this very short slide deck. Please like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, kindly do so. Here we go. We knew that once Asim Munir had returned back to Pakistan, I don't know if he is back or the message has gone out, that there are problems waiting to burst out. China is extremely unhappy, especially since it is believed that on May 10th, they did not tell China before they offered to cease fire with India, and they got pissed. And that's why on the evening of 10th, you saw a lot of shelling along the LOC and IB. That was just to placate China that, well, we will listen to you also. But I think India played a mature role at that point and said, okay, let it go. We will adhere to the pause and we will think about coming out later. Now, there is another reason for India to go back and finish the unfinished business. And I'm going to come to that in just a moment. But it is believed that Pakistan had plans for ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. I mean, if you've been watching James Bond movies, you will know all that world domination by the evil characters there. And one of them will be like, oh, we have ICBMs. What is so special about ICBMs? We're going to look at that. How many countries have the ICBM and which ones do not? And is Pakistan trying to enter into that club? And if so, what are the ramifications? If they have a nuclear warhead for that, what happens to it? Does it become even more dangerous? Would that threaten the United States? That is the question that's uppermost on everyone's minds. Is that what Trump told Asim Munir? You better not do an ICBM. Well, this is what it is believed have come down the pipeline. Donald Trump, after sitting down with Asim Munir for a lavish lunch, we even published the menu card for you, and it is believed to be one-on-one, although Don says that the NSA or the ISI chief, either one is fine. It's the same Asim. Asim Malik was also present along with another minister, but this is only Don. Others are not saying it. Others are saying it's a one-on-one lunch. Whatever it is, looks like Trump has read the riot act to Asim Munir, saying that you cannot develop ICBMs because it is believed that Pakistan has been working quietly with China to get their own ICBM version so that they can also become a nuclear proxy for China. How true this is, we are going to examine what all the different things that have been happening. Has Operation Sindoor given that a little extra boost to Pakistan so that they are more determined to go and get their own ICBM? If so, how will America react? So you're seeing all these pushbacks from various countries to what Pakistan did with America. With that, will the loans come through, the IMF loan as well as the World Bank loan? Would there be a spanner in the works there also? Because with America, they can turn in a second. So, especially with Trump. So, what is really going on? So, we're going to give you some of the scenarios. A foreign affairs report that cited US intelligence, it has said that Pakistan is developing an ICBM that can reach United States. This latest development has marked a dramatic escalation from Pakistan's traditional medium-range arsenal directed against India. Now, Washington officials have warned Pakistan that if it does end up developing this, then it would look at Pakistan as a nuclear adversary, just like China or Russia. So, how much of China's cat's paw has Pakistan become? That's another thing that will come through when you watch this slide deck. No country with ICBMs that can target the US is considered a friend, officials reportedly said. Now, who are the countries that have the ICBMs? I'll come to that in just a moment. Now, a regional actor such as Pakistan now suddenly has global ambitions. I mean, they can't even keep their house in order, but they are having all these big ambitions. Shades of North Korea, perhaps? Well, it looks like that. It is also being interpreted in the intelligence circles in United States that this is aimed at discouraging a US intervention. So that means that if Pakistan wants to do something naughty, they want to make sure that US cannot tell them, shut up, don't do this thing. Will US listen? We don't know. Well, the takeaway is Washington has not maintained alliances with those countries that possess ICBMs. I'm going to show you the list of ICBMs in just a moment. This could also mean that if this is true, and I think it is true, US might classify Pakistan as a strategic nuclear threat. Now, here are the various ways in which these things can be devised. One is a missile that is capable of carrying nuclear payloads over a distance of 5,000 kilometers. Now, many of the contemporary ICBMs, we have talked about MIRVs, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, with General Ravi Shankar enabling multiple strikes from a single launch. Meaning, like, supposing the trajectory is going like this. Okay, let me show it this way. Supposing the trajectory is going like this. The graphic that General Ravi Shankar showed it very, very vividly. At different points, you can release multiple warheads or multiple missiles, which means one launch could take more than 3 or 4 even warheads, and that would be happening in various areas. So you can't even concentrate on where the MIRV is going to reach. If it is 3 or 4 destinations, that becomes much, much harder. Well, India does have an MIRV. It has even tested it. I think it is close to hypersonic range. So all that stuff in just a moment. So ICBMs are considered special. They are also talked about as strategic armaments because of their extensive range and devastating potential. Although technically capable of carrying conventional or biological weapons, these systems are predominantly configured for nuclear warfare. So, which are the current list of ICBM maintaining nations? These are US, Russia, China, France, the United Kingdom, India, Israel, and North Korea. Pakistan has been the sole nuclear armed nation without ICBM capabilities until now. So these are all like, I got to check, just check. Oh, I don't have this thing. Let's go and get this thing. So what is this missile program that is happening in Pakistan? Does it even have the capacity? Does it know how to do it? Or is it taking help from China? The Operation Sindoor appears to have triggered a renewed urgency on part of Pakistan to get an ICBM, but how will it get it? Well, sources are saying that China is covertly assisting Pakistan through a transfer of missile technology, nuclear materials, and perhaps even R&D. We know what kind of an engagement they had even while Op Sindoor was in progress. They were in fact having Chinese specialists man forward desks, and then quietly they moved away, I think on the 9th of May. There's a detailed monologue that I've given that you can take a look at it to understand how these things played out. Clearly, China and Turkey fought alongside Pakistan against India in this, and now I think India is chomping at the bit. Perhaps the latest incident in Udhampur, where one terrorist was taken down, could be an escalation point, and India might decide to do some more damage to Pakistan, including take out wherever it is that they are doing their ICBM development. So it is believed that Pakistan has turned really aggressive in sourcing this thing. Maybe India is waiting to confirm that it is indeed true, and then maybe they are trying to see where they can drop a bomb that will cause the maximum damage in Pakistan. Now, there are many other things that need to be considered. It is believed that Pakistan has about 165 to 170 nuclear warheads. India has a little bit more than that. The current delivery system includes medium-range ballistic missiles and tactical nukes, primarily India-focused. ICBM capability would be a strategic leap and a global concern. China is expanding its own nuclear arsenal. Russia has withdrawn from major arms control treaties because they think that these are all done just to crimp Russia and not the others. With North Korea's provocations and now Pakistan's ICBM program, the US faces nuclear pressure from multiple directions. What are those directions? Well, before we go to that, let's take a look at what is Pakistan's compulsion here to do this. Pakistan is not a signatory to Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, and neither is India, or the Comprehensive Nuclear test ban treaty, CTBT, just like India. This makes it difficult for the global community to impose transparency or restrictions on its nuclear program. See, if you don't know what they are up to, then you don't know the extent to which their development is. And with a crazy mullah like Munir at the helm, God knows what he will do if he sees that he is losing badly. Now, one good thing that happened was this time when India struck at Nurkan as well as Jacobabad, they also damaged a lot of United States assets. And this might have prompted US to say, okay, now call it off. And Pakistan had no option other than to seek that. So we don't know exactly who pressured whom. I mean, Pakistan was pretty much rendered useless at that point on 10th morning after the strikes. And then who said what? Did US realize that it was going to lose more? What else was spared? That's the other good question. What did India spare in Pakistan's missile program that could have made it like completely toothless? So the other problem that analysts have is the proximity between Pakistan's air bases, such as the Noor Khan, and the nuclear command facilities, such as Jacobabad or Sargodha, and so on and so forth. This escalation to an ICBM is a huge threat, that's for sure. So how much damage underground has been made by India is a question. And again, like I said, every country has helped every other country in doing things, except perhaps India didn't help Pakistan, but US did help. They have given some things. Western Europe did help. China has helped. North Korea has helped. So it's not just Pakistan alone that did this. Everybody did, and they all knew that a certain material that is being imported into Pakistan can only be used for one thing, and which is nuclear missile development. So now, what are all the directional threats that are coming towards United States? They can get threat from the north, from Russia, from the east, from China, and also North Korea, and now Pakistan, perhaps from the west. So US can get this thing from any of these things, and since China is more or less controlling all, but to a lesser extent Russia, US needs to be alert and needs to be aware of what is going to go on. This collapse of Cold War era arms treaties and the emergence of new threats suggest a shift towards a more dangerous, fragmented global security landscape. So this is where things stand, and it is believed that this was brought up and the riot act was read to Asim Munir during that one-on-one lunch. I think he said, okay, we won't do it. But Pakistan being Pakistan, they are two-faced. They will do whatever it is that they have to do to get par with India, and this could be one such thing. What United States is going to do is going to be interesting, and I think there are going to be many opportunities for United States to talk about this, maybe offline at the upcoming Quad meeting or even in other places. So we have to see how this next step is going to be from the United States to deter Pakistan from creating its own ICBM or intercontinental ballistic missile. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.